Okay. Aleph. Right, so until now the Gemara was thinking that the Mishnah Taka means that you have to shecht it within the first year. Right, whether it's a tam, whether it's a balmum. You have 1 year. Shana V'Shana teaches you have 1 year. But then the Mishnah continued and said, L'achar shnasai, L'achar yud beis chodesh, in Rosh Hashanah el lamed yom. So the Gemara wants to know what does that mean. Let's see the Gemara. The Gemara says, Ivaylehu heichi ka'amar. What does the Mishnah mean? Does it mean that if Noilad loy b'sech shnosa Rosh Hashanah kol yud beis chodesh, if the mum knows, the mum was Noilad within the year, you're allowed to keep it for 12 months. L'achar shnasai, nami shleishim, you're allowed to keep it also after for 30 days. Meaning you have to keep it within the first year and then 30 days. Even if the mum was after 6 months. Maybe the 30 days is for everybody. Right? It's not just Dilma, or the other way to read the Mishnah is when the mum was happened within the first year, so then you have only 12 till the calf is 1 year old. However, if the mum didn't come until after the first year, what could you do? Right? It's not as much based on mikdash ones. You can't bring it as a carbon. Right? So you have to leave it in your house. And then after 12 months, the mum came around. So then you can only do it for 30 days. The Gemara seems to have a tzad, even though we learned from the pasuk Shana V'Shana, right? Maybe the Gemara is thinking that really only refers to a tam. Maybe the Gemara is thinking that we have another reading in the pasuk, right? But either way, the Gemara is thinking that maybe when the Mishnah says that if it's la'achar shnasa you have shleishim yom, it doesn't mean if the mum was noiled la'achar shnasa. Even if the mum was noiled within shnasa, you have 30 days of the next year too. So Tashima says the Gemara. Tanya b'chor b'zman hazeh ad shalei nira lahar oisel l'chacham. If you have a bechor b'zman hazeh, and until it did not become fit to show to a chacham. Why? Because it did not get a mum yet, right? So you can't. There's no point in showing it to a chacham. It's still a tam. Let it keep it for 2-3 years. Okay. However, if it did get some type of mum, and it seems to be right to show it to a chacham, then if it got a mum within a year, within its first year, then you're allowed to keep it for 12 months. You can't, if the mum happened the first year, you can't keep it even for 1 day, even for 1 moment. But because of Hashavas Aveda L'Bailim, because in term the issue of returning a lost object to the Bailim, meaning really this is Mammon Kohen, right? Let's say there's no Kohen around, right? So if I tell you have to get rid of it right away, so right, so that means that if there's no Kohen here at this moment, so then the Bailim, which is the Kohen, is going to lose out. So we give you 30 days. So we bring Hashavas Aveda L'Bailim. So the Amru Rashai L'Kaim Shleishim Yom. Right, so you're allowed to keep it for 30 days. Right, so the Gemara sort of sees from here that the Gemara sees from here, right? We have a statement in the Brisa. You can't keep it even for 1 day and for 1 moment. But because of Hashavas Aved L'Bailim, then you're allowed to keep it for 30 days, right? What is that referring to? The Gemara is thinking that's referring to only if the mum happened after. But if the mum happened within the year, you're still not allowed to keep it at all. Meaning you're not allowed to keep it for 1 moment at all if the mum happened within the year. When it says Shleishim Yom, it means if the mum happened after the first year.
It's not only Kli Cheres, it's also all the Kli, like clay,
No, Rashi says the opposite. Rashi says it seems it's going on within. If it was born within the first year, if the mum was noilad on the behemoth within the first year, so then you have 12 months plus 30 days. It's really you should have 12 months and only 12 months. But we give you another 30 days. It sounds like, I guess, because the Mishnah is giving a Shavas, because the Beit is giving a tam of Shavas Aveda, so it sounds like as long as there's as you can't give it to the Kohen, you have 30 days. So what does it make a difference if it was noilad after the year or before the year? L'maisa, we give you 30 days from when you have to shecht it. Right? Let's say the mum was noilad at the end of the first year, right? And there's no kohen around. Oh, so we have to give you 30 days for Shavas Aveda, right? That seems to be the svara of the Beit, that you give you 30 days to be able to give it to a kohen. If you shecht it now, it's going to rot, right? They don't have refrigerators. You have to be meleach it. It's still not going to last, right? So therefore, it says the Beit. So okay, we give you 30 days. Right, so the Gemara is saying now, what's the difference? It sounds like we should give you 30 days, even if it was born, even if the mum happened within the first year, and you don't have a kohen, right? Or even it's the last day of the year. Even if the mum happened the last day of the first year, right? We should still give you 30 days, just in case there's no kohen. Says the Gemara, no, it still should be a kasha. Maybe the 30 days is only after. Maybe we only give you these 30 days after the first year. Still, the Brisa never says explicitly what it's talking about. Okay. But Toshima, we have another Brisa that let's say the mum happens 15 days before the end of the year. Right, so then what do you do? Says the Brisa, then you give him 15 days after. So what do you see? Shema Minah, right? Shema Minah that the 30 does not apply after; it only applies within. Right? The 30 days only applies after, but not if the mum was born in the first year. If the mum was born in the first year, you have to do it within the first year. We don't give you 30 days. We don't give you a year plus 30 days. We give you only a year. If it was born after, if the mum happened after the first year, then you have 30 days. Right? But let's say the mum happened 15 days before the end of the year.
It's only the 12th month.
Over here, right. Now it's only again in the 12th month. It happened in the 15 days before the second year, right? 15 days before the end of the first year, right? So then we say we'll give you 30 days from that point. Right? So we always give you 30 days from when it's born. Right? That for sure. But if it's born at 6 months old, we're not going to give you 13 months. Right? We're not going to give you a month over the first year. So you see from here, BeiRav, that you only have 15 days into the first year because it was born 15 days ago. Right? But you don't have 30 days into the first year. Okay? So Shema Minah. Besides the Rabbi Elazar, there should be a proof to Rabbi Elazar. He says you give him 30 days, no matter what. Okay, right? That's what he's saying. He's saying that if it was born after, you have 30 days. Even if it was born before, then you always have 30 days, even if it cuts into the next year. Okay. Some say Rabbi Elazar says, how do you know the Bechor Shenol B'mum? He seems to be saying the first side we said, right? This version is saying, how do you know that a Bechor, even though the mum was born within the first year, way into the first year, meaning even if it's at 6 months, still you give him Shloshim Yom Achash Nasai. The way he reads Shana B'Shana is Ezu Hein Yom Machashuvim Shana. How many days of a year are substantial enough to be called a year? Right? So we say, so there's a Gemara Rosh Hashanah which says, 30 days already is considered a nice chunk of the year. It's already into the year, right? So Shana B'Shana, right, means a year into the year, right? It means a year past the year, which means 30 days past the year. So he's reading it Shana B'Shana that you have 30 plus a year, because 30 days is a substantial cut of the year. It's called the year. So Meisiv Efek Gemara, we have a we have we're going to ask him from the same brayso so we had then mashlimin lechamisha sayim achar shnasai hashloma in only if you have to fill up the 30 days, but you don't have 30 days stam, right? Hashloma in miavaloi stam we don't give him 30 days. We only give him 30 days to be mashlim, 30 days from when it was born, but not if it was born a long time ago. We don't stam give you 30 days. So you have to okay, so you have to. Right, it says in the Mishnah. If someone first shechted, right, really what you're supposed to do is, if it's a tam, you have to leave it, right? If it's a balmum, then you show it to a mumche. He says, okay, it's a balmum, you give it to a kohen. What did you do? You're a kohen. Bashas, we're talking about a kohen who has a bechor. A kohen who bechor was born to him, right? So if it's a tam, he can't be nana from it because it's bismana zed. There's no right. What did he do? He found a mum. He said, "Oh, okay, I'm going to shecht it." He shechted it, and then he showed it to the Rav, right? Really, he should show it to the Rav first. No, first he shechted it, and then he showed it to the Bechor, and then Umaris mum. Rabbi does matter. Rabbi says, "Okay, if the Chacham sees a dead animal, he sees on the dead animal a mum, and he says, "Oh, this is a mum, mutter." Since it was shechted without the permission, without the mumche designating, it's also okay. Misha ain't a mumche v'rayis habechor. Someone who's not a mumche and sees the bechor v'nishchat al piv. Harei yikaver v'yishalmi beisay. It should be buried, and he has to pay. He's not a mumche. He had no business paskening, right? And therefore he has to pay.
Even if he's right.
I mean, this seems to be like Rav Meir's shita, right? Right, and Rav Meir was the one who says that the hoil v'nishchal pi mumche is aser, right? So even if you show it to a mumche, right, Rav Meir seems to say it's aser. Rav Yehuda holds that since you show it to a mumche after death, it's fine. We'll see what case he's talking about. And Rav Meir holds no, it's too bad. And the Sefer of the Brayso, I think the Gemara is going to say, is going like Rav Meir, that says that even if you show it to a mumche, it's not good. Too bad. We're knas you.
There ain't a mumcha in the Sefer.
Yeah, but after he showed the mumcha afterwards.
No, he showed it to the Eina Mumcha.
No, showed it to the Eina Mumcha,
right.
shafted it, and then the Mumcha looked at it and said, yes, it was.
Yes, so it could be Rabbi.
Okay, we'll see. The Gemara will talk about it. Okay, weiter. Oh, Rabbi Bar Chana. What are we talking about? What case are we talking about? We're talking about Dukin Shaba'ayin. If you have a case of Dukin Shaba'ayin, the Kula Almalei Pligi Delser, everyone agrees in that case that it's aser. Even Rabbi Yehuda was mater, by Dukin Shaba'ayin it's aser. Why? Dukin Shaba'ayin is a case where you have a small mum in the eye, and it seems to be everyone's masking that even if you look at it after death and it looks like it's a mum, taka a mum, but Dukin Shaba'ayin, everyone understands that maybe it changed. Right? It only happened after death. Certain things come after death. So you do an autopsy, right? It happened after death. There's no raya on what happened before. So that's by Dukin Shaba'ayin in a delicate mum, that even if you see it as a mum kavua, it looks to you like a mum.
No raya that there was a mum.
No raya that there was a mum before. Therefore, everyone's masking. Sorry, maybe it's a tam, right? So you shechted kachim b'chutz, like it's aser. So the Dukin Shaba'ayin kula amalei pligi de aser. Why? Because by the eyes they change. It changes after death. Shala is a regular movement in the other parts of the body. Where holds, even though yes, you can really determine whether there was a real mum before or not, whether it was a bal mum or not. Still, we're geiser auto dukin shabayim. We just talk about geiser in moment shabaguf auto dukin shabayim. We're not geiser, so that's the machlekes whether you're geiser or not by moment shabaguf. Tani nami hochi. Ashachet is a bechor maris mumbai. First he shechted and then he showed the mum. Vido aimer dukin shabayim aser. Yipnei and mishtan because it changes. The moment shabaguf it's mutter yipnei and mishtan. It doesn't change. What is right now was while it was alive, and therefore if we can determine right now that it's a mum kavua, so it's fine. Also because it changes. Says the Gemara, really? Do you think do they change? Ella says b'nei hamishtanim, meaning where guys are always b'nei hamishtanim because of the ones that are mishtanim, and that is something like Dukin Shabbat. Amar Nachman Masisinami Deka. We can also infer this from the Mishnah. He doesn't say the reason is since it's mishtana, right? He says the reason is hoyels v'nishchat al pi mumche. You didn't do right? You shechted it before you showed it to a mumche. Therefore, we're geyser to you, right? You see that it's a knas. It's not because it's mishtana. He holds the reason. Right? Because there are times when you won't tell, therefore whenever you don't show it to mumcha, we're going to knas you. Shema mino. Okay, so that's what Meir. That's machlokes Rebbeinu Rav Meir. Yibailahu. Mipnei mishtanim v'kulu mishtani. V'yidilma ikad mishtani v'ikad mishtani. Do we mean to say that it always changes? But when he says mipnei mishtanim, do we mean to say that it always changes, or maybe sometimes it's not nishtanim, meaning the Gemara is going to ask what's the nafkamina, right? But when we say, when Rav Meir says mishtanim, it sounds like it's always nishtanim, which means if you have a dukin shaba'ayin, after death it always changes, right? I don't think this means it's always nishtana halachically, but it always changes. Meaning, let's say there was a mum kavua in the dukin shaba'ayin before death, right? There was a mum kavua there. Then after death, it's going to change. So the dukin shaba'ayin always changes, right? Is that what we're saying? It always changes, even though there's no halachic difference, right? But it always changes. Or we say no, it doesn't always change. What's the nafkamina? Right? It's only because he says the word mishtanim. Mipnei mishtanim. So it sounds like it always changes. Is that true that it always changes? So says the Gemara, what's the nafkamina? Like chushay sahadi. To know if you can deny, if you could show that the witnesses are saying falsely. If you want to be makesh or sadi. Right? If you say it always changes, so shakranino. Meaning, let's say you had witnesses that came and said they looked at the bukhar. And they said, this dukin shaba'ayin, this happened, right? Whatever. A guy had a mum with a dukin shaba'ayin. He shechted it. He brought it to a mumche after death, right? It's a problem. We said you shouldn't do that, right? But then the chacham goes and sees. He says it's a mum kavua, right? So he says, it's a mum kavua, but it's a dukin shaba'ayin. Maybe it changed, right? Maybe before it was alive, it wasn't a mum kavua. Dukin shaba'ayin changes with death, so you can never know. Come witnesses and say, no, it looked exactly like this while it was alive, right? So therefore, you should have witnesses. You have Eidim that tell you that there was a mum kavua not just now. It didn't happen after that. It happened even before, because they tell you it was exactly like this before. The Gemara says, well, if we learn the literal words of Rav Meir that he says mipnei mishtanim, it sounds like it always changes. So you can't have if witnesses come and tell you it was the same exact thing like before, you know they're lying, right? So is that what Rav Meir is saying? Mipnei mishtanim. Or the other side is no, it could change, could not change. So if witnesses come and tell you it looked exactly like this, you could believe him. Right? So that's the nafkamina. My nafkamina, like chushay sadi, to be able to show that the witnesses, to be makrish to sadi, to refute the witnesses. If you say it always changes, shakradinu, they're telling a lie. You could be samich on them. So, says the Gemara Tashima, the Omer Rabbi Achano, Sochli Rabbi Yished min Usha. Rabbi Yished min Usha told me, Boi ve'arecha, come and I'll show you bedukin shehen mishtani. I'll show you in the dukin, I'll show you the dukin shaba'ayin that it's mishtani, right? Come and I'll show you. It sounds like I'll show you. He came and said, "Look, I'll show you when it does and when it doesn't. I'll show you the details. I'll teach you how. If it always changes, it always changes, right? So it sounds like it doesn't always change." Okay. Misha ein mumche. Someone who's not a mumcha v'ras ha-bechor v'nishchat al-piv, right? The seif of the price. So that someone's not a mumcha, and he decided, he paskin, even though he's not a mumcha, that it's a mum. And then because he said that to Shaykhim, harezi yikaver, he has to bury it because maybe it was a tam, right? V'yishalmi beisa. Says the Gemara, why do you have to do that? Leimatnan stam Rav Meir. The pshat is maybe it's like it's exactly the word saying the stam sounds like Rav Meir because according to Yehuda, if it's a type of womb that you could check afterwards, so it shouldn't be become maybe right. So it wasn't a tam. It was and you let it. You can retroactively know that it was a balmum. So why are you burying it? Says the Gemara, maybe the Sefer is taka a specific case of dukin shabayin, and where everyone agrees that you can't determine what was before. So therefore, according to everybody, maybe it was a tam and you have to bury it. Okay, Tanag Shum Mishalim Revia. So now we're saying that this person who paskined, who shouldn't have been paskening, right? So now he's responsible for this bechor because they shechted it, right? So Mishalim Revia, Revia Ledaka, he has to pay only a quarter of a behema daka, umechza legasa, and half for a behema gasa. Okay, so first of all, Rashi explains that you always the starting point is you only have to pay half, and that's why by a gasa you have to pay half. Why half? Because maybe the guy it's a moment of a little bit suffix. Why? Because the guy who paskin that it's a mum and he ruined your animal, right? Well, he'll tell you back. You don't know for sure you would have gotten that animal. Maybe it would have died a tam, right? Only if he gets a balmum, then you're allowed to. Let's say it's a kohen, right? It's a kohen's animal. And the kohen says, "Oh, you paskin that it's a balmum and I shechted it, right? I would have had a live animal." He says, "Well, even if you had a live animal, if it would have died a tam, you wouldn't have gotten anything, right? So we don't know if it was going to be yours or not. So that's so it's moment and will be suffix, right? You don't know if I caused you a loss. So moment it's a 50-50 chance. It's a suffix. So therefore, anyway, moment and will be suffix cholki. You only have to pay half, right? So that's why by behema gasa it's only half." So my time, the Gemara is asking, what's the reason why by behema daka it's a quarter and by a gasa it's mechza? By a daka it's a smaller loss because it's only a smaller animal, but by a gasa it's hefsen meruba, it's a bigger animal. Says the Gemara, why is it inconsistent? You should pay per loss, right? How much did he lose by behema daka? A certain amount. So what to decide? Do you pay half the loss or a quarter of the loss? Right? It should be. You're right that it's less, but it should be in ratio, in proportion. Right? So says the Gemara. The reason why by behema daka he's only have to pay a quarter, right? So behema gasa, Rashi explains it's half because maman amutul misafik. Behema daka, the reason why we cut off another quarter is because of gzeres megad behema daka. There was a gzer in Eretz Yisrael that you shouldn't raise behema daka because he used to steal from other fields, he used to graze in other people's fields. Therefore, the gzer you shouldn't do it. And this kohen had a behema daka, and therefore we're geyser. Okay, Rashi has another pshat also, but it doesn't really fit with the Gezerah. Rashi says that it means that behema daka is very hard, very tough to take care of, and therefore the guy sort of the person who wasn't a mumcha and passing to balmum saved the kohen from the expense of taking care of it. So therefore, I saved you money. I don't know, but it doesn't really fit. Taisa, it doesn't fit with the word Gezerah. That's why Rashi says another pshat. The Gezerah means because of the Gezerah that you're not allowed to be megadol behema daka. Therefore, they knast you that you don't get the full half; you get only a quarter. All right, Maslisa. Donis Adin, if you have a dayan, right, who judged the case, Zika is a chayev, and he made a mistake. He was mizakeh someone who was chayev, and he said, "You're right, even though you really should have paid." Or chiv is a zakai, or tima is a tohar, v'tir is a tameh. So if he made a mistake, a dayan makes a mistake, masha asa asui. What he did was not paskin already, meaning the psak doesn't change, but yishalem mibeisai. And now that he was mitame it, right? He said it's tameh, or he was mizakeh the chayev, right? So now you don't tell the chayev that you have to pay now. The dayan has to pay. He has to be mishalem mibeisai. However, if he was an expert in Bezdin, meaning if he was a real dayan, it's smicha, right, and he's legitimately paskening, so then pater l'sham, he's pater, because it's not his problem. Yes, he made a mistake, but he had the authority of giving a psak. He was right. He was allowed to give a psak. Okay. Rashi says the loy matzi meimer lei. The guy can't tell the dayan, amai dayantle. if it's a guy who doesn't know how to pass, all of a sudden comes, wears the dress, wears a frock, and starts paskening. So what are you doing, right? You're machshel arabim. But if it's a guy who really is a dayan and makes a mistake, okay, that's not his. He's not responsible for his mistakes as long as he has smicha. That's what it sounds like. Okay. Lema says the Gemara Tanan, stomacher of Meir. It sounds like the Mishnah is stam like Rav Meir that holds the doin dina de garmi. Rav Meir holds that you're not chayev. You're chayev even if you didn't exactly cause something by yadayim. For example, Rav Meir's case that Rashi brings is if you have if one guy has a Kerem, the Kerem there's a gate in between the vineyard and the tavua, right? And then the wall falls down, right? So the Baal Kerem tells the Baal Tvua, or the Baal Tvua tells the Baal Kerem, build a wall. If not, your Kerem, your grapes are going to come and make kilayim with my Tvua. It's going to have to my Tvua. Right, so according to, and then the guy is lazy, he doesn't do it. So according to Rav Meir, he's chayav, even though it wasn't active. Wasn't mazaku by yodayim. The tvua just the wine, the grapes just came and mixed with the tvua, caused kilayim. Right, still according to Meir, you're chayav, even though it's an indirect. I didn't actually actively with my hands be mazaku, but still you're chayav. So to Rav Meir, right, the dayan was sitting in a chair and he said pater chayav, right, and now you're saying he's responsible for it. Right? So you see, even though it wasn't by yodayim, it was a psak, right? So you see, it must be that we're holding like Rav Meir, who holds that even though you caused it, it's just a causal, you just caused it, you didn't do it by yodayim, you're still chai. So I'm Rabbi Eliyahu Raful, no, maybe the pshat is not, it wasn't just the psak that did it. He took the money from him and he gave it to him, right? So I actually took the money. Since I took the money, so therefore I'm chayav to pay back. It wasn't just the psak that I said. Bishlam Machiv is a zakah. Says like more, okay, that's if you're Machayev the zakah. I took money from the zakah and he gave it to the chayev, right? So I took the money. But then you could say a case when I took the money and gave it to the other guy. Elazika is a chayev, right? If I say no, you're not chayev, right? I didn't take any money, I didn't take anything, right? I just caused him a loss because I said you're potter, right? So I didn't take any money. So it must be if you're telling me that I'm chayev to pay, right? It must be it's because you hold dina de garmi like Rav Meir. Either only potter atov alei nasan v'nasan b'yad. If you say you potter, you didn't take anything in your hand. The pshat is he had a mashkoin, right? And I took the mashkoin from him and I gave it to you. By saying that you're a potter, right? You're a malva, let's say. I'm sorry, he's the malva, right? He's the malva, and he says you're chayiv to him, right? And I say no, he's potter. You're potter, and therefore give him back the mashkin. So I took the mashkin from him and I gave it to you. So therefore, I actually did take something out of him. Since I did take the mashkin out of you, right? I took something by yadayim. I was mazik you by yadayim. It wasn't just al yidei a gram, al yidei a psak. Timei Satar. What's the case of Timei Satar? Right? He said, right? It's really torn. He said it's tummy. Right? So what's the case? The case is Daga B'Sheret. Why can't you? Right? Also, again, I guess it's probably the same shayla. It's a grama. All I did was say it's tummy. Right? So he says no because he actually touched it with the sheret. Oh, so you actually heard tummy by your dime. Tira Satame. Right? If he said it's tahor. Again, also, how did it cause loss? How did it cause loss? Is you retire the tummy, right? Because if he mixes it up with other things, it makes other things tummy, right? So now you caused me hazard because you made everything tummy. But who's ma'arvit? If the dayan himself was times ator she'ir vanim peirosav, he mixed it up with the other peiros, so he caused the loss. He caused the loss by your dayan. He didn't just say, oh, it's tahar. No, he actually mixed it up, and therefore it caused. He was the one who mixed it up, and therefore he's the one who caused the loss. We have time? We'll give tomorrow.